just kick things off then. Um, let's see here. Big update. A whole bunch of new feats have been added to the World Anvil. I have been working on more of them, but I have not made them public just yet. So, a lot of new stuff. Um, I was supposed to work on the bestiary. I did a little bit of that, and then I got distracted by feats because inspiration struck. And when it strikes, you kind of gotta just go with the flow. Um, the other two big things of note would be that I have added a whole bunch of my maps to the library that we have on the Google Drive. Some of them are still uploading, but I do expect a large amount of map access. If you have access to the drive, then you got access to these maps. They are specifically in the adventure main folder and then the Z Maps subfolder. And then, they're organized in the various locations they should be. I also have more maps I need to add to them, but I figured this first round of about 100 or so is, good to go. Another note, for purposes of, just keeping people up to speed, the Pirate campaign was to have their first session last Wednesday. But, what fucked over us again? I don't remember now. Is it something conflicted? It was like my internet was down, or something regarding myself. I don't remember now off the top of my head. I just remembered that we had to cancel, but we should be good for this upcoming Wednesday, unless something crazy again
Quick
happens.
Question about the maps.
Yeah.
Are these scenario maps or like maps?
Define scenario map.
Then are they meant for games or are they like maps of the general area?
Oh, they are maps meant for games. I also can easily plop down the world map for people to use as well in the folder. Because that one also has a bunch of like tokens that I've been placing on it from different regions and games I've been playing. So they have like, here's where a village is located, here's where a cave has been found, things of that nature. So I can easily put that down too. But they are encounter maps, dungeons, cities, things of that nature. Things that are used for actual play. In addition to that, the Borussia campaign should be good to go to have their first session this Thursday. So, that's good stuff too. Let's see here. What else of note? This week the semester is back on, so spring break is now over for me. I'll probably be a bit more busy, playing a bit more catch up because I did not, in fact, work as much as I should have on my project, but it's fine. I have enough time to finish it, but I'll be focusing the first couple days on that project of this upcoming week. Beyond that, I believe people should expect to have some new DDs visible on the World Anvil this week as well, as that is another one of my focuses, is getting the DDs a bit more fluffed up. Regarding the regions, how goes... there you are. How goes Dolodor? Specifically in terms of, like, mission preps and whatnot.
Right now, Joki's currently working on some missions for, like, setting up for a campaign for when it comes out. Origins we have up; they just need to be reviewed before we change them and add in the 1d8s and 1d6 and stuff. But outside of that, so far it's just waiting.
Gotcha. Very good.
That's really it.
Good
Outside of that,
timing. Speaking of regions, Any major goals for work you'd like to have the regions or departments focus on? Or just continuing to flesh out regional things while you continue adding onto the world anvil and transferring existing campaign stuff?
So
And priorities?
that depends on the region itself. Regions that are still a work in progress, their focus should be getting their information on the same page as Perugia, Dolator, and so on. For those regions who are on the same page as, Perugia, Dolator, and so on, their focus should be on mission prep at this point in time. Prepping so we have a decent pool of concepts, ideas, or even just fully fleshed out missions that can be used when the phase kicks off. That's pretty much the focus for the regions. Regarding focus for other departments, hi, you're here. How goes political? Now you guys have been discussing some of the rule sets that you've been working on, potentially having a meeting in the near future regarding them as well. How goes said work? Gotcha. Now, I would say let me know when, but I assume you're going to be adding certain roles for that, and I believe I have those roles. So, looking when times come to schedule. All right. Let's see here. Nice. Yeah. They all should work in map tools. They're all RP map files, so that shouldn't be an issue. Some might be a little large because some of them are older, so they aren't optimized. But yeah, the encounter maps themselves, they should run just fine. They're all fairly light.
Worst case, if a map is too big, just have the player disconnect, send them the map, have them load it up, and they'll be fine.
Yep.
And that works pretty much 99% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So like if down the line you think a map is too big for whatever reason for just about anybody running a game, just be like, hey players, here's the file, download this, and you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah. Oh, I've actually been, that's part of what I've been doing with optimizing my maps is turning them into images, specifically JPEGs. As an example, where's one of my more recent ones I can show? While I find this, for purposes of the other departments, I know that economy, we're just fleshing out the equipment guide right now, getting things, ready for use. It's
any major priorities? Certain mechanics that we want for the LW but aren't established yet? Specifically stuff that you haven't already written or used, so that the burden of writing it isn't on you.
For different departments, there are different priorities, I'd say. So for the Divinity Department, much of the deities do not have written information at this point in time. And obviously, some of them are, at this point in time, basically just concepts where you have, portfolios that you can use. I've given in the Divinity team the ones I'm focusing on. So feel free, if you're within that tag, to, or if you want to gain the tag, you can go pick it up in the role selection channel that we have here. Just start working on some deities. You can look at the ones I've already made for the overall format that I want the deities to be in. Kind of like, here's the description, here's the domains, etc., and then all the fluff information down below. For the economy team, the systems themselves, all the core stuff that we need is either in the equipment guide and just needs to be flesh out further, which you are free to take the equipment guide and look what I have and start adding to it, because there's a lot of magic item creation stuff and like custom consumables creation stuff and things of that nature that are still very much in a work in progress, which is just thinking up of like enchantment ideas. So like, here's a fire enchantment that might provide an aura of warmth to those nearby, giving them like temp HP. Now that could be an enchantment thing that fire reagents could provide, as an example. Just ideas in that nature, and then you can send it up to me or something of that, and we can add it to the book and then release the book for people to use. So economy wise, that would be very helpful. Also, just sending me written up texts of mundane equipment as well, because I'm still adding mundane equipment to the equipment guides. That's another thing that would be helpful. Basically, a lot of data entry, unfortunately, in terms to equipment. Let's see here. I see some text that I'm going to need to read real quick. Yeah. And then... Yeah. Sanity and madness effects do need to be worked on, too. I don't really know if that's particularly a specific department, but I can send you some of the tables that I use personally for my home games. Because
I still have the links you sent the one time.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah. I mean, I use a mishmash of tables, but there's one that I definitely look at the most. It's sometimes you don't really. The table I do use as my main doesn't really fit what's happening, so I have to grab one of my alternates. Probably falls under
One smaller thing of note, we do need to formalize some kind of a DM and staff reference for launch guidelines, although lower priority since it'll only kick in fully after actual launch. I'll start on laying out the basics based on the prior discussions and votes.
Let's see here. My mind just blanked. Yeah.
We do have the encounter table made for the island, which can easily be used for other places if they need it or want it. And it's based off of what Witch used for there, so it works about the same. Obviously, people will have to fill in what they want for their region, but I used it last Thursday night.
Very nice, very nice.
When they decided to go off the road, I'm like, wow, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I mean, if that can be shared with the other departments, excellent. Because if we already have one made for people to easily peruse, that would definitely help mitigate prep time for people in those regions.
People will have to put in their own monsters in it, obviously, because the stuff we have doesn't work in everywhere else.
Yeah.
But it's pretty clear and cut on what you have to do.
All right, let's see here. See, political's got their thing. Economy's got their thing. Divinity's got their thing. Balance has been working on stuff of late, so I know they're up to date already. Balance's job is actually getting pretty close to just twiddling their thumbs while we send them stuff, because they're almost done. Though I did add a bunch of new feats, so I guess they have more stuff to do. Let's see here. Any other departments I'm completely forgetting about?
Hi, you got to yell at Chrono like 2 nights ago.
Yeah. I'm just gonna click myself to see what tags I have so I can remember the departments. Divinity, check. Venture, we already gone over that. Yep. Economy, yep. Political, yep. Civilian team is, we have the base stuff there.
Kind of in the void at the moment.
It's the void in the moment. I think just as a brief discussion, we could touch on it though. With our current understanding of our team size and whatnot, I just remember another department. What are your thoughts, Shrub? Since you've been helping out a lot with the civilian stuff, basically helming it. What are your thoughts on us being able to use civilians going forward?
Yeah, it's ready to use if we need it. With how our size is currently, I'm not sure what we'll end up doing for guaranteed games a week or what have you. Once we get closer to launch, I guess it would be easier to tell. It's ready if we decide to use it.
Gotcha.
But until we make decisions on how we're doing players and whatnot, it's hard to say whether or not we will.
Basically, it's just it's usable, but it's on the benches until we're closer to launch.
For the time being, I'll start going through the departments slowly to see their status relative to a launch-ready state, and if they are launch-ready, start shifting them from development to standby/active use.
Right. And for training, did we get any new people signing on?
Let me go look. Because we only got one the last week. I'll see if we got any more since people watched the VOD.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can go from there. Not any recently, no.
Gotcha. All right.
It's the last person is still the one that wanted to be in part of Divinity if they're interested.
Gotcha.
Big thing of note is that at the moment basically every department is in a development state to varying degrees. The current state of things doesn't really link with how departments will need to function during a live phase.
Yes, this is true. Regarding the map tool framework department, essentially, if you have interest in helping out with the framework as you've been doing, Rhyme, then you can slap that tag on. This basically, if you have things you want to provide for the framework, things that you think would help improve it, you can send them my way, and I'll update the framework and put out the update. A lot of your suggestions are in the one I'm currently using. I haven't actually sent it to people to be used yet because there's still a few things I want to add that you've sent my way to it. But yeah, no, that's pretty much what that department's for. If you have interest in helping out.
Some will have an easier time transitioning than others, like balance and creation, but others will need to shift gears as we get closer to launch.
Indeed. Yeah, I think Divinity's big shift will probably be less on like answering prayers and more on tracking and keeping an eye on what's the word for it? Faith, but not that. That's not the word.
Piety?
Piety, yeah, piety. Yeah, that's the one. So that would be a pretty big shift for them because right now the focus is just building the deities and the different patrons and whatnot. But yeah, no, that's about it. Anything anyone would like to bring up other than that? Because that's all I have.
Outside of Chrono getting a rough draft for one of the new races, that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, it's just been me and Chrono shit posting to each other while we go over stuff.
Yeah. Regarding the Minecraft server,
That's about it.
I have done a little bit of looking into the mod pack, but I have not, put together, and I've not tested it out on my own personal side server at this point in time. The server's still running, I believe. I mean, it's in the middle of a server right now, and people are able to hop on and play it. But once I am a little less focused on getting the missions and the deities ready and up to snuff, then I'll be back to focusing on the Minecraft server and getting, the modded stuff ready.
Think we've gone over most of the basics for continued progress and updates. I'll toss you a rough draft of a roadmap to launch.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, and for quets, we did have approval to use them. Yeah, from Pi.
Chrono made it after playing Elden Ring for 4 days, and then sent it to Pi and pseudo confirmation. Yes.
Yeah. What about the Siren Race? I believe that's the name of it. We have permission to use that one. I don't remember off the top of my head who made the race.
Does Kelly? I don't think Kelly owns that race now. Or made that race now. That might be one we have to alter.
Gotcha.
I think, because I don't remember if Kelly had it or that was one Jeremy made.
I don't know.
So,
I mean, it fits in lore in terms of
the
different creatures in it. It's just,
Yeah. I think we're fine to use whatever siren you make at this point.
Okay.
Or we can find. I don't want to touch that siren just to avoid issues.
We can look into it.
Yeah.
Anything else people would like to discuss? Wait for people to tap. Ah, yes, Elden Ring. Excellent. In that case, that is all I have. I appreciate everyone's faces, everyone who's been helping out and all that good stuff. That is the meeting. Hope you all have a good rest of your evening, day, etc. And that is where I will call the meeting.